Okay, we won. Wow, that game was insane. That game was insanity. In your 70 plus years on the planet, have you ever seen a Browns football game like that?
I'm sure I have. I've been through enough where they've let me down at the end with big leads. I always get scared when they build up a big lead, and you got to. If it was somebody else other than Prescott, I would have said we got it. But knowing he's brought his team back, uh, that's it's never over till it's over, and thank God Ward stepped in there. Otherwise, we would have had to suffer through another onside kick.
Oh my
So,
gosh! All right, so my dad's showing you the card. We are going to be giving away the Bernie Kosar card. We'll just hold on to it for a second, Dad. We'll wait for a couple more guys to trickle in here. Everybody who happens to be in the channel right now, go ahead and click like, just so we can help us boost up in the algorithm a little bit. Hit the like button, share it out to everybody. Let's get this thing rocking here. Big game. New sponsor that just came in. New Patreon sponsor that just hooked us up. We got Jonathan Schlegel Esquire. The Schlegel Law Firm is now an official sponsor of the Brownie Postgame.
wow.
See his
Way to
logo.
go, John.
See his logo popping up there. You see Jonathan Schlegel is a friend of mine and a lawyer in the Columbus area. So for all your legal needs, you got John Schlegel. For all of your real estate needs, you got Tim Ali. For all of your apparel needs, right? You got Sabo Apparel. Believe in Cleveland, right? Do you believe in Cleveland, guys? Do you believe? Because I believe.
3-1.
3-1 for the first time since 1991. Most points I think I've seen the Browns score in forever. The most nervous I've been in a long time about a Brown. I mean, I just kept looking at the clock. I'm like, okay, less time. I was counting off to 5:44, 5:43, 5:42. The kids were in there. We're all counting down the clock. It was like it was a scary moment for us at the 6-minute mark, right? Mm-hmm. When they pulled within 3 points with 6 minutes. And then they, for whatever reason, they did that squib kick. What were they doing with that?
Well, it worked the first time. Peoples Jones, if he had touched that ball,
it's live.
On that, it would have been live. Or if it had just stopped rolling at the 1 yard line,
they get it, and they could have walked. They could have got it right there.
That was a huge break for us, not to, have that adversity hit us at that point in time. It was unbelievable. I mean, what I couldn't understand is why they let him get to the outside as many times as they did to stop the clock.
Every pass. Dak Prescott he completed 41 passes.
Wow. How many times did he throw it?
58 times.
Oh my God. Well, you knew that was going to happen. One, because that's their offense, and two, they got behind. And three, we went into the prevent. And we've seen it time and time and time again. That's why they call it the prevent. And a lot of times it doesn't work.
Winning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the problem was when they have so many wide receivers out there and our defensive line was gassed. I don't know if you saw, like, when the Browns called timeout that one time, Olivier Vernon's over there, spitting out, he's like dying, right? In an air-conditioned building.
They gave it their all. I mean, everybody. I was glad when they put Hunt back in, and let him, we got that one first down, which helped, and that got us to the 6-minute mark at least. Otherwise, we had the ball and we gave up what they said, and the announcer said 30 seconds off the clock from 6:33 to 6:03 with two timeouts and an incomplete pass. If Baker hits Odell down the sideline, game is over. But he missed him badly. he threw it.
Yeah, he just kind of winged it to just almost like I thought he was actually throwing it away.
Yeah, it looked that way almost. He did throw it away a lot of times when he was in trouble, which I criticized him last week, as you know, in prior games where he tries to do too much at the very end of a play. And in this week, whenever he got in trouble, even though he wasn't going to be sacked or whatever, he threw the ball away. Very, Tom Brady-ish, like.
I don't think Baker Mayfield had a single yard passing in the second half. If he did, it might have been 5 yards in the second half. Meanwhile, Dak Prescott with 502. And you know what I was saying the whole time? I was telling Lindsay, I'm like, look, at the end of this game, they're going to have to pass and pass and pass, and it's going to open up opportunities, and we have to execute because we're going to get our defense is going to get their hands on the ball. And then you got Sendejo who drops an interception. We have interceptions dropped a few times, and finally Denzel Ward steps up and makes a play and says, "I'm ending this right now. No more onside kick, no touchdown, no 2-point conversion, no nothing. I'm ending this thing right now. I'm taking this ball away." And I mean, I got to tell you, if you look at that game, at this game today, every star player within the Browns team, every player who had to make a play today made a play. Baker, Odell with the biggest game easily since he's been a Cleveland Brown. I mean, the running touchdown, the catch from Jarvis to open the game, the other touchdown that he caught from Baker, 5 receptions.
Did he have 3 touchdowns?
Yeah, he had the one from Jarvis, one from Baker, and then one, the one rushing one where he ran up the field and sealed the game.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Odell,
looking at
Odell Beckham just said, "Screw this, I'm winning this game." Like you could tell on the sidelines, he's like, "I got something coming."
Well, yeah, but if that guy sticks his arm out and grabs him by the jersey, the game, is, who knows what would have happened at that point, because it would have had a second and really long, and it just worked. Yeah. Everything worked out. I mean, it worked out. But they played great when they got it up to 42 points. We should have just called the game over, and it would have been a tremendous victory.
Unbelievable.
This took a little bit off of it by letting them back into it.
Yeah.
But unlike Atlanta, I mean, Atlanta let them win the game. I mean, Atlanta was killing them.
Yeah.
They let them back into it, and they got a halfway decent defense. Ooh. But that's what happens when you got a prevent defense and you got a gassed defense. That's they couldn't put any pressure on him.
No, they couldn't get to him. They couldn't get to him
anywhere. Well, they were only rushing 4 guys. They didn't blitz because they didn't want to get beat deep, but they got beat deep anyway.
I mean, they got beat on every side of the field.
Right.
And then Dak Prescott runs up the middle of the field for 10 yards. And then they had the one play where he was through that little lateral pass. The guy catches the ball, he was back 10 yards and turns it into 16. So it was really like a 26-yard run. Remember the one where the guy he went down on his knee, but he got up and ran from the left side when they were back in their own. I mean, it was just like anything that could happen did. All right, guys, let's do, I want to first give out a big shout out to Gary Washington, who is a Patreon guy, supporter of the channel, called it that we were going to win this game. And Gary, because you called it and you're a Patreon guy, you get the homage shirt today. You win the homage shirt because I'm just doing it. I'm in a giving mode right now. We also got a Sabro Apparel shirt coming up, or shirt or hat, whatever you want. We got one of those. Gary gets that. We got the Bernie Kosar rookie card giveaway that we're going to be doing. Anybody who's new to the channel, please click the subscribe. Check out our sponsors, Schlegel Law Firm, Tim Ali Real Estate, Sabro Apparel, right? You get this cool thing out of the way. You get the Believe in Cleveland, which is really tough to do today, guys. Hit the like button to help us get up in the algorithm so we can show up a little higher too. Let's get some guys in here. This is a party today, right?
Right. This is a big game. Big win.
This was our coming out party until the fourth quarter when we gave up 24 points. when that happened, I'm looking at the box score right now. We gave up 14 points, then 0-0, 24. That is a scary fourth quarter. And I got to tell you, there's a couple things coming out of this. Great, we fought, we survived. We survived today. And it was off the back of our superstars. It was off the back of Denzel Ward at the end making a play and Odell Beckham making a play, right? It wasn't anything but that. It was we got off with our superstars, got us through this game and willed us to a victory. It was big. It was really big and scary moments. No turnovers from us, right? No fumbles, no interceptions.
No interceptions. How many times did the ball go through our defenders' hands for interceptions? At least 3 or 4 times they had it. If they could only close their hands around the ball, the game would have been, we would have been in the 50s probably in terms of scoring. So,
yeah. I mean, we were really close. We scored 49.
Yeah.
And it was because of the 2-point conversion debacle there at the end of the game. We actually got it. Hold on. American Saxon. Hey, Mike, with the big catch and run, would you say OBJ is our new Webster Slaughter?
One game doesn't make a season or anything.
Well, I would tell you Webster Slaughter, I don't think Webster Slaughter had the tools that OBJ has. And I think Webster would probably agree with that as well. Webster in his prime in like 86, 87, 88 was pretty good, but he wasn't like he wasn't undefendable, right? And I think OBJ is a tier a little bit higher, but in the essence of what he means to the team, I'll give it to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that Hodge went down too. Daryl Hodge went down, so we did lose a couple of players in today's game.
Daryl Hodge, yeah, he went down in the
warm up.
But yeah. I got to tell you, I like Peoples-Jones returning kicks and punts a lot.
Yeah, not bad.
I like him.
Yeah.
He's sure-handed. It's kind of why we drafted him, right? Kind of why we drafted. We got all the regulars in here. We got Max Nikolenko. We got Gary, of course. Coral Ross is in the house. Matt White. We got some of the homeboys in the house today, enjoying this victory. The Browns are 3-1 in epic fashion. We are 3-1. This was
49 points. I mean,
oh my God,
we broke another record off.
We almost needed them all too.
Yeah, one of those streaks where we hadn't scored 30 points in 3 weeks in a row in like 20 years or something. So the offense is potent.
Yes.
A little less potent now that Chubb is questionable.
Well, that's the big thing coming out of this game is what happened to Nick Chubb. That is the big question here because the good thing was he walked off the field, so we're happy about that. The scary thing about this is, does he miss time? I'm sure he's gonna miss practice. Like practice, he's not gonna be there. Do we need him for Indianapolis? I don't know.
It looks like he's going to have a outdoor life, says a MRI on Monday, so which makes sense.
Okay.
To rule out whether it's anything torn or whether it's just a sprain, but it's clearly his knee, not his calf. And I saw him pointing to his knee, to one side of his knee when the trainers were out there with him. And he had a knee blown out in college, so that is a little scary. Hopefully, Hunt gets another week to sit on the sidelines and recuperate before we have to take on the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Nick Chubb, and Jake and I talked about this in the pregame show. I mean, the 1-2 punch of the power of Nick Chubb, and then the finesse and the speed of Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, and the other thing, Kareem Hunt is not 100% either. He's got the groin issue, so that's why we were using Johnson and Hilliard,
right?
Because of that.
Johnson stepped up. Hilliard made a couple of runs, but Johnson, he impressed me.
Oh my God! 13 rushes, 95 yards, 7.3 average. Today was Ernest Johnson's coming out party, guys. We have a legit number 3. And to be honest, let's be fair here. Dearness Johnson's a number 2. On most teams, Dearness Johnson's a number 2. Right? He came out today and he proved that he can play in this league and he belongs there, not fishing for mahi or whatever they were talking about, during the show today.
I think kudos go to the offensive line too.
Yeah.
2 respects. 1, they protected Baker, and 2, they opened up some nice holes when they had to, as far as the running game is concerned. Consistent, regardless of who is in the backfield. So they should get a game ball. Odell obviously gets a game ball. Baker played okay. I think his rating was like 100, which is a little bit off from where it was. But he missed a couple of plays. A couple of guys are wide open. He made some nice throws, but he missed a couple that are certainly makeable that would have really helped us. But he didn't do anything to lose the game. That was the key. He didn't have any big mistake at the end. Or a fumble or whatever. He made a couple of runs where he had a couple of yards, but all in all, Landry made a couple of plays every once in a while.
Yep.
But the defense played great up until the fourth quarter, and then all hell broke loose at that point.
No, that fourth quarter was scary. That fourth quarter was legit scary, and I sat there and I was like, I don't know how we're going to be able to go on the show and talk about that kind of loss.
Right. I agree.
That
would have been tough.
That would have been, I don't know. I think you'd have a lot of people giving up at that point. I really do.
And it wouldn't have been on Baker's shoulders. He didn't do anything to lose the game. It's just that he did everything he could to win the game. The running game was great. It's just that, how many times can you give up 40 points and still win the game? It just, or whatever it was it 38 that they had at the end? I forget. But that just, we knew it was going to be a shootout. We knew it. And luckily our offense outscored their offense. Because, to give up, what did we give up? 501 yards in the air?
We gave up 502 yards in the air.
Oh, my God.
But I got to tell you, I am so impressed by Odell Beckham Jr. We're giving away an Odell Beckham Jr. jersey right now. We're giving away right now. We're doing an Odell Beckham jersey giveaway. 1 to 100. You guys know how to do it. 1 to 100 now for OBJ jersey. Go. All right, I got my number in there. You guys know how to do it. OBJ, we're going to give away the retro, the old Color Rush jersey. So this is the one that has the stripes on it, right? So we're going to give away the old one, okay? No worries. Everybody get in there. We got giveaways happening. We're 3-1. We're giving away an OBJ jersey. Let's go!
Unbelievable.
Oh, my gosh. 49 points, Dad. When was the last time we saw that?
Well, I think it was when Derek Anderson put up 52 against Cincinnati many, many, many years ago. But how many total yards did we have? How many? Baker didn't have that much in the way of passing.
We had 508 total yards. Baker only had 165 passing.
Yeah, all on the ground. It was a ground game, which luckily worked to our advantage because it kept the clock running in key situations. But I would have never have predicted that we would get that many points or being that big of a shootout. Yeah. Looking at it from Dallas's perspective, you're 1-4, and you just gave up 49 points, and not so much in the air, but you gave it up on the ground. They couldn't stop our ground game. I don't know who Dallas plays next, but I wouldn't want to be on the Dallas sidelines or in the locker room after this game and knowing what you got to go through to prepare for the next game, and you're 1-4, and Prescott's got to be saying to himself, I throw for 500 yards and we still can't win. I mean, it's not a good feeling.
I mean, God. All right, well, I think we're good here. I think we're good. So the number was 67.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at it, I don't think anybody had 67. And nobody had 67. Browns fan 1977 had 66.
Max Nikolenko, 65.
Oh, Nikolenko had 65?
Just before you posted the 67.
Oh, just right after. Oh, okay, yeah. But on my side, it said right after, but that's totally fine because there's a little bit of delay. Browns fans 1977 with the win. The Browns fan 1977 wins.
Nice.
The OBJ Color Rush. Browns fan 1977. Send me an email. Send me an email to browniepostgame@gmail.com. We got more giveaways, guys. Don't worry. You got more chances to win. Who knows? I might go nuts and give more stuff away. I don't know yet. You got to hang in here. You got to hang with us.
Right.
You got to hang in. Let's get some
Bernie.
light. We got the Bernie card.
Years.
Let's do the Bernie Kosar card next. Hang tight. Hang tight for the Bernie card. All right. I was texting with Jake, my friend Jake Rollerson, who we had on earlier on the pregame show. God, Jake, I mean, and I felt so bad for him because it was like we demoralized the Cowboys early on, right? We demoralized them and thinking that it's over, and then we let them back in. We brought their hopes back up, and then only to crush them there at the end again.
Oh.
I just felt so bad. But I was telling him, I was like, look, man, I am legitimately nervous. And I was tweeting this out too. I was saying, I am right now very, very nervous about what's happening in this game over and over and over. So this was a scary game, guys. Very scary.
It was something that we had to do, and we did it. And kudos go out to the entire team. The coaching staff did well. The fact that we had the running backs there to pick up where Chubb went off, and he only played less than the first half. So that was a big loss for us. Having their center go down on the first play of the game and be taken out was a big loss for them too. I'm sure that hurt them. Although whoever played, however they reconfigured their line, they did a good job because our guys, other than the strip that Miles put on, we never got close to them throughout that whole fourth quarter. It was just like, go back, 4 guys rush. You got all day, wait for your guy to clear, and you hit him in the numbers. And then, play after play after play. So it's a classic, go to the prevent and let the guys back in the game. And, if I was a Dallas fan, I'd be scratching my head as to what the hell can you do? They obviously need some help on defense. We didn't light it up passing wise, so it was all on the run game. I thought their defensive line was supposed to be pretty good.
I can't believe they let us, because that the final play, right, where we ended up being the play that ended up like creating the win for us, which is the OBJ run. He was stopped. He had a guy in his face 15 yards back. If that guy tackles him,
yeah, that's what I said earlier.
Good night.
If he grabs his derby, where it's a 10-yard loss and we're backed up, then not only does he get around the corner, when he got around the corner, I could see
push him out of bounds.
Our guys making blocks for him. He had to cut back. He went to the sidelines. Then he cut back inside and passed like 3 Dallas guys, and then just outran the rest of them.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Classic, huge play by one of your offensive stars. And clearly, he started, last week, and, he's not going to be able to get his ego in the facility this week. It's going to be so big. But, you chalk this one up and you start looking at the tape on tomorrow. Yeah. Hopefully Chubb has just got a sprain, and then you say that game is over.
Ice it.
And we move on to Indianapolis.
Yes, ice it.
As simple as that.
So we had Gary Washington. Just gave me a good idea. We had Gary Washington gave me a good idea here.
Oh, yeah?
Does anybody want an OBJ Funko Pop? A little OBJ Funko, if you guys know what that is. You guys want to do OBJ Funko now? Let's do it. 1 to 100 OBJ Funko Pop. Go. All right. There we go. We got it in. We're giving away, doing another one. Here we go, baby. Yes, everybody wants one. Let's do it, Browns fans. I just like this was okay. There's a lot of good things to be said about this game. A lot of good things. There's a lot of like scary things too. That I will tell you. Well, yes, we're 3-1, but this is a scary 3-1, right? Because we beat arguably two of the bottom teams in the league, if not the worst teams in the league. And then we've just barely survived in Dallas. Now, we went to Dallas, and we beat them in their own house, and, you know, we put it to them when we had to. At the end of the game, the final score is 49-38. We won the game. We're 3-1. But the reality of this game is, this is scary, right? We could easily be 2-2 right now, right back to 500, and now going, holy crap, we had a huge lead in the game that we gave up, and a victory in professional football. A victory is so hard to come by, right? That to sit there and almost give it away, I think would have potentially crushed this team. I think it would have crushed the locker room, and it would have really done it. And Odell Beckham Jr., the guy that everybody went nuts for. Everybody said, this is the guy who's going to bring us to the promised land. This is the guy who has had a relatively quiet career so far in Cleveland. I'm looking right in the camera for this one. He had a game today.
Right.
He had a game.
Well, he's healthy. He was hurt last year. You could, argue that he played through it and he had some success. But, having your wide receivers healthy that can run the routes they're supposed to run.
Yeah.
He didn't make any spectacular catches. He just caught the ball today. He held on to it. He got open. Baker missed him at least twice. He missed him wide open, which could have meant, another touchdown.
Baker had a couple. He had a couple miscues along the way, were like bad misses. But then he had some great, really needle type throws to Jarvis. But to be honest, guys, there weren't that many throws. All the throws in the first half, right? He had 30 attempts, right? So this is another one that we go on to that statistic of does Baker win games when he throws less than 35 times? Yes, he does. Here's another example of it. And I got to tell you, the tough, just what the defense did today to be able to stick in there and get beat over and over and over, not be able to get to Dak, let them do it, and they were catching the ball. Every time, over the middle, to the side, little swing passes. They did a lot of screen passes. We didn't have an answer on screen pass. There was no answer.
We were playing too far back. You're playing. Yeah. I mean, you play 15 yards back, and you let the back catch it, in the flat with nobody in front of you. He's got a chance to move left or right. We're lucky we didn't give up a big play. So
all right, let's see who won the Funko. The number 41 was the number. Nobody had it on the nose. We had a 45 from Browns fan 1977.
44 for Andrew Johnson.
Okay, 44. I think it might be Andrew Johnson then, right? Unless there was a in the 30s. Guys, keep me honest here, but I think Andrew Johnson wins with a 44. We have a 34. That doesn't do it. 34, another one that doesn't do it. 32, nope. All right, Andrew Johnson wins the OBJ.
Yeah, good.
Andrew Johnson wins.
All right, we got 11.
Send me a
111 guys in the house.
Let's go, Browns. Email. Send me an email. Brownie Postgame at Gmail.
And
all right,
the
dude.
Next one, we're home against Indianapolis, which is good. We don't have to travel.
Yeah,
it's in our place. We got a week to prepare. They're starting to let more fans in.
Yes.
Hopefully, we'll get even more fans in for our game. A week from now. The president coming down with COVID didn't help matters on the COVID. Wear your mask type of thing.
Well, I mean, here's the deal. I was actually considering trying to go to this game because you could buy tickets. And I was like, well, maybe we fly to Dallas. But I was like, you know what? I've been to so many Browns away games. I don't want to go to a Browns away game. I want to go back to we need to go back to Cleveland. Right? We need to go back and experience that.
For a big game, yeah.
We have to, because it's we're probably going to go to the Jacksonville game because it's 2 hours north. Yeah, we're probably going to represent Florida, the Florida Browns, down here in Florida. So we got to hold down the house down here in Florida. But we got to make it back up to Cleveland for a game, and now that we're winning and we got a little swagger going on, we can put up 41 freaking points in a football game. The
Bengals came through. They beat the Jaguars 33-25.
Wow.
33-25. The Bengals are off the schneid.
Good for the Bengals. The Buccaneers come back and beat the Chargers. Wow, and they were down. They were down big in the beginning. Saints win. Bengals take out the Jags. That's fine, whatever.
Texans lose again.
Really, did they?
Yeah.
Seahawks took care of the Dolphins. That's fine. Texans are 0-4. Maybe getting up DeAndre Hopkins was probably a bad idea. Maybe. Panthers ended up taking out the Cardinals. We probably had the Panthers, right? I would assume we had the Cardinals. We had the Cardinals.
No, we had the Cardinals. The Cardinals, figuring Murray was due to have a good game, and the Panthers weren't that good, but Panthers took care of them 31-21.
Yeah, and the Cowboys, I think the Cowboys have the Cardinals coming up here in 2 weeks. So the Cowboys, looking at their schedule, so they've got a JV game next week against the Giants at home, which they should be able to take care of that. I mean, the Giants don't have anybody. And then they have the Cardinals. The Cowboys aren't. I still think the Cowboys are going to win their division. I think they're going to go 8-8 and win the damn division because their division is so bad with the Giants, Eagles, and Redskins.
Well, they should be able to beat up on the Redskins, the Giants, and the Eagles. So scoring the kind of points that they score.
Imagine if we were in that conference versus the freaking Steelers, Ravens, and an upcoming Bengals team. The AFC North might be the best conference in football because you've got 3 teams that can bang. Right now, let's take a deep breath for a second and come back to reality that we beat a young and up and coming Bengals team. Fine, we took care of business on that. We beat a bad Washington team who's not going anywhere, and then we went and we beat the Cowboys, and it was a scary win, but we got the W, and a win is a win is a win.
Absolutely. You can't take it off the board. You need those wins to get into the playoffs. You need those wins for confidence.
This is what Freddie Kitchens couldn't do. This is why he is no longer our coach, because the games that we had to win, he couldn't do it, and we couldn't hold on for these types of games. We would have fell apart. We closed, and I was sitting there and I go, who is going to be our closer today? Is it going to be is it going to be Hunt? Is it going to be Jarvis? And it came down. The closers were OBJ and then Denzel Ward, right? Healthy Denzel Ward. I can't wait till we get Greedy Williams back in the field. We need him. We need to get Greedy back there. We need to get him the reps and to get him going. But they played tough today. They played tough. They played tough today. And I'm just excited. Today is an exciting day to be a Browns fan. It wasn't, usually what we get in these type of games, we get the heartbreaking, the soul crushing loss.
Right.
And we were able to pull this one out.
We were close. We were close to letting it slip through our fingers, and it wasn't a classic. Somebody throws a pick six, we fumble, on the 30-yard line, turn it over. They drove down the field. We kick a punt, and the guy goes backwards, and then there's a holding penalty, and we get them all the way back to the 15-yard line. And they still drive the ball 85 yards and score a touchdown. That's a little scary. Thinking about the Virginia Tech game the other day against Duke, they had 21 players that were gone from COVID. They still found a way to win. We're not missing that many players on defense.
Right.
It's just that for some reason, they're finding a way on a passing situation, but then again, they did it to Atlanta too. So it's not just us that Dallas. They do have talent.
Yeah.
And but still, to give up that much that quickly to let them back in the game is a little. It's almost disheartening.
I think that would have been tough for any team though, because Dallas has a good offense. And oh, by the way, Alexa, make the lights in the office orange.
Mm-hmm.
Alexa, make the lights in the office orange. There we go. We got some orange. We got some orange lighting in here. I was going early pregame. I was going for Cowboys colors, and now we're going back, and we got to have victory orange in the office. Yeah, I think the Dallas has got an offense. If they just had any kind of defense,
Right, the Giants are going to lose. Washington already lost.
Right. Who the Eagles got today?
They got somebody tough as well. They could 49,
win. 49ers tonight at 8:20. Yeah, but Garoppolo's not going to be out there.
No,
but it's going to be in San Francisco. You're taking Philadelphia across the country to San Francisco.
Right, and they're missing a couple of key players, but San Francisco's playing all right without Garoppolo. So,
here's a good point. Coro Ross said Stefanski is looking good so far, and I'll tell you this.
Yeah, the thing I liked about Stefanski was if you watched him on the sidelines, he was as calm as a cucumber.
It's like he knew what was happening.
Yeah.
He's not an emotional coach.
No.
No. He's but he did feel like I felt the command, right? That he was like, "Hey guys, it's going to be okay." Like the game isn't too big for him, right? We talk about that a lot. It's not too big for him. He didn't get overwhelmed by the atmosphere. But we talked about this a little bit in the pregame. This was a McCarthy who both you and I wanted. I mean, admittedly so, guys. We were really disappointed when Mike McCarthy didn't come to the Browns, and so it's McCarthy versus Stefanski, and we were both disappointed because we went from I think at least me. I'm pretty sure we were aligned here. Yeah. It was Mike McCarthy, then Josh McDaniels, then everybody else, and Stefanski. Okay, whatever.
Well, Stefanski was an unproven product. McCarthy was a proven product, stabilizing guy, which that's the one thing we needed was stabilization. And he was going to bring that along with all of his other talents. So it seemed like a perfect fit to get us out of where we were, the doghouse that we were in. And when he didn't take the job or they didn't give it to him and they brought in Stefanski, I was disappointed too. I thought we're taking another experiment, a whole new coaching staff, a guy who's never really been a head coach. And let's see where it goes. But I'm impressed. 3-1. Didn't panic today. That was good. And he'll put this one behind us. And we'll go on to Indianapolis, and hopefully he comes up with a really good game plan for them.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be the next test, right? So
absolutely
it is. We've got Indianapolis right now is up 7-0 in the second quarter against the Bears.
Right.
Phillip Rivers has got a touchdown pass. Nick Foles hasn't really done a whole bunch yet. So right now, that's going to be an interesting game because they could go 3-1, and they go 3-1. They're right in the hunt. You know, they're one of those teams on the top end, the top echelon of the NFL. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the power rankings because the Browns and the Cowboys were right next to each other in the ESPN power rankings, which again is just things for people who go to sports bars to argue about. But I think the reality is this Browns team is probably not a team that most other cities want to have come to their town or want to go to Cleveland at this point. We put up 49 points today, guys.
Yeah. I'm looking at the
that's a lot of points. Would we have beat any other was there any other team that would have beat us with 49 points today? I don't think so.
No. Well, at least not with the comeback capability of the Dallas team, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the box score of the Cincinnati game, and I'm looking at Joe Burrow. He had 25 for 36 for 300 yards, one TD, one interception. But Mixon had 25 carries for 151 yards and 2 touchdowns. So they put a pretty good whooping on Jacksonville, even though they only won by 8 points. To get off the schneid like that was pretty good. So
yeah, good for the Bengals.
We got a 1, 2, and 1 at the bottom. We're 3-1. Baltimore's 3-1.
Steelers don't play.
And the Steelers don't play, but they're 3-0. So I mean, now granted, you look at who all those teams beat, and there's probably a losing record in total, but they're wins, and it gets you that much closer to the playoffs.
Oh, I mean, the division, the AFC North goes through Baltimore. Bottom line, it does, and they took care of us easily in the first game. And now we have to be able to stack up enough wins so then at that point it doesn't matter. And to be honest, I can't wait to play the Steelers now because I think we match up really well against the Steelers. And if any Steelers fans are out there watching, if anybody's in here, they're lying to themselves if they're not afraid at this point. This is not the Browns, Hugh Jackson era Browns, which by the way, look at today. Kevin Stefanski in his 4th game ties the amount of wins that Hugh Jackson had in 2.5 damn years as a Browns coach. Right? Now, yes, of course, he had different talent, a whole bunch of stuff. But at the end of the day, right, the reality is wins are wins are wins. And Kevin Stefanski has 3 currently, and Hugh Jackson in 2.5 years had 3. It's like and Kevin Stefanski talks about it. He said it. There was a clip of him talking about like the Andy Dufresne, crawling through a lake of crap to get to freedom. Guys, we had that. We crawled through a lake of crap. Now, here's the reality. The reality is we are now 3-1 and we're on the radar. Okay? So what does that mean from a playoff perspective? From there have been teams in the NFL who have gone 8-0 and then ended up going 8-8. You can ask the old Philadelphia Eagles when Randall Cunningham broke his leg, 8-0, 8-8. So things can fall apart. But I gotta tell you, I can't wait to see the clips coming out of the Browns locker room and imagine the flight back to Cleveland. Flight back to Cleveland with these guys must be going nuts. Myles Garrett with a play. Denzel Ward with a play. Kareem Hunt with multiple plays. OBJ with a play. Baker Mayfield with a play. The coaching was there. The kicker making kicks. I mean,
I was surprised that it got blocked so badly. I could see it coming because the guy was already diving and he hadn't even kicked the ball yet.
Yeah.
And so I was glad to see that there was an offside. So the worst that would have happened is we would have kicked it again.
Yeah. But, and that's the thing. We got all the breaks. We got at the end of the game, we got Dak to finally throw an interception. Great. We picked that one off. And they were just waiting for it. Denzel was just waiting for it, right? We had the fumble. Myles Garrett comes and strips him again. So now he's stripped Joe Burrow, Dwayne Haskins, and now Dak Prescott. Imagine instead of, I don't even care about sacks anymore. Just have Myles Garrett give me the ball back, slap it out of their hand, give us the ball back, and then we scored touchdowns off of turnovers. We're scoring touchdowns.
Right.
This is insanity.
We took advantage of every situation, and for us to drive down at the beginning of the second half and score a touchdown, that was huge. I mean, I felt so comfortable at that point. It's just a good feeling, but because usually you go 3 and out and then they get a touchdown, they're back in the game. That wasn't happening at that point, but sure enough, we let them back in that fourth quarter. That's for sure.
Oh my God, I was sitting there, and I'm all the kids were in there. The baby's up from the nap. She's trying to mess with the remote control, and everybody's in there. Max comes out. Everybody's got the jerseys on. We're all going nuts in there. And when Odell ran for that touchdown, what were you thinking? What was the feeling going on when Odell ran for that touchdown? Okay. You heard us yelling because you were in the room, and then you must have stepped out. Kendall was in there. You were in there for the Odell touchdown, right? What did you think of the Odell touchdown? What did you think when Odell ran that touchdown? It was cool. You heard it, guys. You heard it. It was cool. Hey, let's give away a Bernie Kosar rookie card.
All right.
You guys okay? Dad, show him the card.
Here's the card.
Bernie Kosar. I want to say that's an 86 because what happened at Topps, by the way, they stopped making football cards for one. Kosar rookie 1 2 I can't type 1 to 100 go.
His rookie season was 86.
Right, but they actually stopped making football. I think that was the first year that they made football cards in a while. I could be wrong. I mean, it was a weird time for football cards in the 80s. But here we go. We got it. And I've actually taken a look at this. And when I went up to Delaware, you showed me. It's in really, really good condition. You get this thing rated, maybe make a little money. You got to bring it up a little higher, Dad. You're showing like the bottom of it. There you go. Bernie Kosar, ex-Brown, ex-Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, nice card.
Yes, nice card.
Classic Bernie pose with getting ready to pass the ball.
This win today reminded me of when I was a little kid, and the Browns were a team. The Browns were good in the 80s. And then I'm 7-8 years old, 87, 88, and the Browns are playing on Monday night, and I'm 7 or 8 years old, so I'm in like first, second grade, and all I wanted to do was watch the Browns on Monday Night Football, and you'd only let me stay up till halftime to watch. So you can watch the halftime. You got to go to bed. So I would go to bed. And then instead of actually going to bed, I would just stay. Because we had 2 floors of the house. I would go to the second floor. We had this little like loft way, and I would just sit there and creep out and listen. And I knew if the Browns did something good, my dad would start clapping or hooting and hollering, and I knew that we had something good going on. So that's how I listened to the Browns when I was a kid, and that was Kosar. All right. Getting close, guys. We got a bunch of numbers coming in. Let's see. I'll give it another second or two just to make sure everybody's in here. Guys, hit like. If you have not hit like yet on the video, go ahead and click it. Let's get bumped up in the algorithm a little bit. Let's get a little of the YouTube love, and that comes from engagement, so chat rate and concurrent views and all that kind of stuff. Also, not a bad time to thank our brand new sponsor, the Schlegel Law Firm out of Columbus, Ohio. Guys, if you have any legal needs, and I don't know anything about the law, so I assume everything from evictions to murder give John Schlegel a call. Okay?
Right.
Give Schlegel a call. They got the Schlegel Law Firm in the house.
All those parking tickets, he'll take care of them for you.
Anything you need, you call the Schlegel Law Firm. He is now a Patreon official business tier sponsor. So he's gonna be with us. Also, if you guys happen to have any real estate needs, buying or selling, Tim Ali Realty is the place to go. All right, here we go. Bam, the number was 14.
Okay.
All right, who do we have? Who do we have that's close? We had Cleveland BCI with 11.
Got a 13. Philly Mo. 13.
Mary also has a 13. Mary Ventresca with a 13. Okay, I think we have a tie. No 15s, right?
But what was the number, Mike?
Gary Washington at 14.
Yeah, I see it.
Gary Washington at 14.
That was another 14. Frank Toko.
Oh, do we go to
14.
do we go to overtime then?
Yeah, we got to have a tiebreaker.
Hold on, where's Frank? Oh yeah, Frank had 14 as well. Okay, so now we go to tie. We have a tiebreaker in the house. This is fighting to the death, a cage match between these two guys. I forget how we do the tiebreaker because it's like should we do like paper rock scissors? Like how do we do that? How do we do a tiebreaker?
Well, we could do another 100. We can't do a prediction or anything because that would take too long.
Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. So what we're gonna do for the Bernie Kosar rookie card is this. Pick. So they're saying pick another number. Real Browns fan says flip a coin. Pick 1 to 5 says Outdoor Life. John, John, what if from a legal perspective? Right? From a legal perspective, is there any kind of liability that we've got in here with this? Who wrote it first, says Teresa?
No, it's not a who wrote it first. I mean, yeah, you got to give everybody a fair chance. So
pick a number between 1 and 2. John is here. John, how are we gonna? We have a tie for the Kosar rookie right now between Gary Washington, who's already won, by the way, today, just for being an awesome Patreon guy. We're giving him a homage shirt. All right, totally need to hire me $400 an hour to solve this. You got it, dude. Okay, so what we're gonna do this. Looking for a coin. Who has coins? Do we have any coins in the house? I can't even flip a coin. Okay, we're just gonna do this. Pick a number, whoever's closest. Gary and Frank. Powerful names. Pick a number. 1 to 100. Go. And let's see who gets it. I don't know how else to do this.
Yeah, right? We got to come up with a better system for tiebreaker.
Well, you're not supposed to get out. Maybe we should do like 1 to 1,000 next time for the giveaways, right?
No, then you got to have a calculator to figure out the differential.
That's true. Well, we still have the Sabo apparel. We still have the Sabo apparel. We have as well.
All right. So who were the two people? Frank and who? Oh, and Washington.
Frank and Gary. Yeah. Okay. So Frank was 55.
Right, 71, 55. Did you put a number in?
I have a number in. I'm not touching. I have my number already in. So Frank had 55 and Gary had 71. The number was 1. So it was like, whoever had the lowest one, Frank wins. Frank wins the Bernie Kosar rookie card. Frank, send me an email to browniepostgame@gmail. Okay, send me an email and we'll get that sorted out, how we can get that sent to you. So, hey, we got big winners today. We got Browns fan 1977 with a win. We've got Gary Washington with a win. We got Frank with a win. We got a whole bunch of stuff we're giving away. Tons of good stuff. We got a jersey we gave away. We've got a Funko Pop we gave away. We still have the Sabo apparel, so you can get the Believe in Cleveland or the Clee shirt or the hat, whatever you want. Browns have been confirmed. We have a Reddit Janro Brotha has got to be a Browns Reddit guy. Congrats, Frank. Anthony wants a Chubb jersey. All right, so maybe we do a Chubb jersey next week. We'll see. Maybe when he comes back. But God, I got to tell you, what a game! What a game! We are 3-1 for the first time since 1991. I was 11 the last
three in
time.
a row. We got 3 in a row. When was the last time we won 3 games in a row?
It's got to be. It has to be the 2007, the Derek Anderson year. It has to be. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Let me take a look. So 2007 Browns. Let's see if we can ask the AI. Alexa, when was the last time the Cleveland Browns won 3 games in a row? Now, it didn't answer my question, but I appreciate Alexa knowing that the Browns are 3-1. Cancel. Let's take a look at the Browns' 2007 season. I'm looking at it here in the Wikipedia. No. Yes, we did. We beat Miami, St. Louis, and Seattle. 3 games right in the middle of the season, October 14th, 28th, and November 4th for a 3-game winning streak. Then we lost to the Steelers, and then we went on another 2-game winning streak. We ham and egged it that whole year, right? It was win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. But to open the season 3-1, I got to tell you, I'm excited.
Yeah, how about if we go 4-1, Mike? When was the last time we were 4-1?
I mean, like, you're gonna have to go back to the Otto Graham era.
Yeah.
I mean, like, honestly, like, before they had face masks is when the last time we were 4-1, right? I mean, I think at the end of the day, we are now on pace to be a double-digit win team, right? I think we have double-digit wins in our back pocket here to finish out the season. I think the reality is we have the ability, because as John Slegel said, what about 5-1, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. I mean, and to be honest, it's probably not that far out from reality, because we've got the Colts, who is even though I think that they're a respectable team, I think they're beatable. And then we've proven last year that the Steelers are a beatable team, and the Steelers, although they're coming off of a 2-week break, right? But that's also time to get a little bit tired and rusty when you're not playing week to week. So it's almost like you got a free bye week, and that actually might work in the Steelers' favor. But they are going to play next week. Who do the Steelers play next? Let's take a look. Steelers have the Eagles coming up.
Are the Eagles playing tonight? Is that their game tonight?
Yeah, they play tonight.
Well, no, the Patriots and the Chiefs play Monday night, right? Yeah, they play tonight, 8:20 against the 49ers on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So, but Vikings came through with a win today against the Texans. Texans have got to be the biggest disappointment, along with Philadelphia and Dallas. I would think those are the 3 teams coming out of the box that, if you're a fan, you got to be extremely disappointed.
Yeah.
I'd be disappointed in the Cardinals' loss today, knowing that, they handled Washington pretty well, and now they've blown the last 2 games. So you can't ride Murray the entire way. You got to have a team. You got to have more than just one quarterback that can run around every once in a while. So they've come back to reality. Brady, 38-31 win over the Chargers with a pick 6 that he had. So he finds a way to win. Again, the Seahawks, they took care of the Dolphins. At least the Dolphins made a game of it, 31-23. Saints came back. They were down 14-0, the Saints. And they came back in Detroit. So Drew Brees finally got off the schneid and had a really good game. 35-29, they won that ball game. The late games are, the Giants are hanging in there. 10-6, they're losing. can't. Let me see if I can find my scoreboard. Bengals won. There's still some interesting games that have to be played today and tomorrow. But we can sit on this one for a week and start to plan for Indianapolis starting Tuesday morning. I'm sure after they look at the film on Monday. It's a good feeling to be 3-1. That's for sure.
Also, interestingly, Austin Hooper today with a very quiet game, but a touchdown, right? So 5 receptions, 34 yards, and a touchdown. So finally, Austin Hooper is showing up on the stat sheet, a guy that I have on my fantasy team, waiting for him to finally have a breakout game. We have Jarvis, who played pretty well as well with that passing. So I have Jarvis, Nick Chubb, and Hooper on my fantasy team. So lots of Browns because I'm a homer, right? So Jarvis, with that opening drive, when he throws the touchdown, I'm sitting there, I'm like, hey, I just got a passing touchdown right there from Jarvis Landry from Yahoo Sports. So I was happy about that. Unfortunately, Chubb goes down. I want to see if there's a report. Nothing quite. It just says Nick Chubb knee won't return, and that's about it.
I don't think you're going to hear anything until tomorrow, even if they do a post game with Stefanski. I don't think he's going to say anything other than we have to look at the film. We have to look at the X-ray. We have to look at the MRI. That's going to be the extent. But the fact that he walked off was good. He was limping though when he went to the locker room, and it looked like it was a little grimace on his face. Yep. So it was causing him some pain and some discomfort. But he did walk.
He was walking.
But he did walk.
Yes, it wasn't like he got carted off. So we got John Schlegel saying, "You and Dad, is it Brady or Belichick?" And I'm assuming, like, in terms of the quality of play, I don't know. In terms of what the success recipe was there in New England, I think it was a little bit of both. I think
definitely.
I think Brady's a hell of a quarterback, and I think he's gonna will the Buccaneers to the playoffs. I think Belichick's also probably really got a good chance of making the playoffs as well because he's in a shitty division.
Yeah, they had outstanding defenses in New England.
Yeah,
including last year, and that's not Brady. Brady doesn't play defense. So when your defense can play that well and keep you in games and allow somebody, imagine
Bill
Dallas
Belichick's
had that defense.
Bill Belichick's a defensive coach.
Yeah,
right? I mean, at the end of the day, he lets Josh McDaniels run the offense, and Josh McDaniels has a really good rapport with Tom Brady. So I think to answer your question, it's a little bit of both. But if you had to ask me who I'd want at this stage, I don't know. You got old Belichick or old Brady. Who knows? I don't think either of them are going to win another Super Bowl, but they're both quality. And we got Anthony Fiba saying, "Do you think we can go to the playoffs?" I absolutely think this is a playoff team. I think this is a minimum 10 win team because we have wins on our schedule. We got the Jags, we got the Texans, we got the Bengals.
He won't let us lose the games that we should win. That's the important thing with a coach. He's not going to take any game lightly from week to week to week, even if it's the Giants and they're playing crappy, or it's the Jets and they're playing crappy.
Right.
He is not going to let the players dictate, ho-hum performance, mail it in type of stuff. Stefanski wants to win, and if we lose, we lose, but we lose with our best effort, our best foot forward. Obviously, we're not going to win every game from now on. We are going to lose, but there's differences in the way you lose. And I think Stefanski's proved so far that he's a quality coach. He's put a quality staff together.
Right.
He's trying to fill the holes. This Johnson kid could be a super find if Chubb is gone or is out for several weeks. Having Johnson and the Hilliard, and then maybe we pick up another back because Hunt is not 100%.
Right.
But it was a good effort all the way around. A lot of game balls should be given out, and we just chalk it up and let's look at the next one. Let's look at Indianapolis. I mean that's a game that's winnable. It's home, coming off a good win. Baker's not trying to win everything on his arm or his legs. He's getting everybody involved. Could have been a little bit better today. He'd be the first to admit it, and the first to admit that he missed a couple of open receivers. But proud of the way the offensive line blocked. I mean, they, guys scooted through there. I think Chubb would have went over 100 had he stayed in the game, because he was hitting holes and getting yardage beyond the line of scrimmage. Just unfortunate. But like with any team, I mean, you're going to have injuries, and you just hope it's not a really key player that really sets you back. This is a setback for us, and let's keep our fingers crossed that tomorrow's news is good for Chubb.
Yeah, we absolutely need to have him back. But like you were saying, I think right now, if Kareem Hunt, if he can be okay with the groin, right? If that's not a lingering issue for him, and
Right.
which I got to tell you, like, I've had a groin injury in the past, and it takes, I mean, it just doesn't heal.
Right.
For some reason, that groin injury, playing baseball when I was a little kid, it just doesn't heal. And it's one of those things. He's going to have to take medication, and he's going to have to take, it's going to be in pain, right? And he's going to have to suffer through it. Jim Rome with a tweet, it says, America's team 49, the Dallas Cowboys 38. That's a good one. I'm a big Jim Rome fan. I love that guy. So yes, that is an amazing tweet from Jim Rome. Love it. And he's been a big fan of the Cleveland Browns. He's the anti-Colin Cowherd, right? Jim Rome. He's been a believer the entire time. Well, I can't wait to see what Rome comes out with, after this, because he's going to come out with something. He's going to have some fresh smack, as they say in the Jim Rome show, coming out this year. But yeah, I mean, I got to tell you guys, I don't know if I've been this happy to be a Browns fan since, I mean, maybe 2007, when we had that big season with DA. It's possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's all upside for us. There's really, we're not looking at any downturn. We're not looking at being, depressed from one week to the next. We have, some really bright spots that we can look forward to, and putting in a good week. Looking forward to the Indianapolis game at home. Hopefully we get good weather, and the boys are up for that game and do well. I mean, it's just very encouraging to be in this spot. And for Dallas, just the opposite. Very discouraged to be 1-4, put up 500
I think
points.
they're 1-3,
500 yards.
1-3, but
yeah,
1-3. Right, same point though. Yeah, I would be really discouraged if I was a Dallas fan. And God knows we've been 1-3 before many times. We've been 0-4 many times.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, it basically
nothing to look forward to.
It signifies not necessarily because they're in a weak division, right? They have the ability potentially to still make the damn playoffs if they can have their defense just showing up. Right? Their offense is trying to will them to victory, and they almost did to us what they did to the Falcons. Right?
I don't know how you turn a defense around though like that. It's obviously talent, it's experience. You can only coach so much. You can only put so much of a game plan together. You try not to get beat deep. You try not to give up the upfront coverage and short yardage situations, which keeps the chains moving.
Yeah.
So you're caught. I don't know if he's got the personnel to play man to man. Maybe he's got to play too much zone. Maybe that's what teams are taking advantage of. But did you ever find out, Mike, whether Mayfield had any passing yards in the second half?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how to even see that. It doesn't break it down for me per quarter. Maybe the chat can help us out with that. Anthony Phoebus says, "How would you rate Baker?" I'm gonna I'll go ahead. Yeah, Dad, you go first.
B-. He didn't lose the game. He made throws when he had to. Missed a couple, which if he had made those, he would have moved up from a B- to an A or an A-.
Yeah.
those are all, good.
It definitely wasn't an A or A plus performance.
No.
No, but that's the thing when you have so many stars, like Odell Beckham, A plus,
Right.
A plus,
Offensive line, A plus,
A plus, A plus. Baker didn't get hit. They open up. I mean, we ran. How many yards did we run for today?
Yeah, over 200.
Easily. I'm trying to go to the stats right now. Browns stats. Passing yards 201, rushing yards 307 by committee, right?
Yeah, that's a part that Dallas has got to be really concerned about, because it wasn't like they gave up a lot of rushing yards at the end.
Yeah.
We were just trying to run out the clock. They gave up all those rushing yards. The best thing was when we were down 14-7, and I was really feeling, that it was going to be a bad day at that point, figuring if we turn it over or if they just take advantage and now it's 21-7, then this game is going to go totally sideways. For us to score, I think they scored 34 unanswered points to go up 34-14 at one point. So it was that was great to see us come back and hang in there and do what we needed to do. Your mother was sitting on the couch, and I think when we went up that big, she said, "Oh, I think I have to go in and put my jersey on." She didn't do it, and then she was holding her head at the end when they scored that touchdown. And then they went for the onside kick. I was thinking, this is not good.
No.
But when they squibbed it and they only got it to the 50-yard line,
right?
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I sat there and I was like, what are they doing? Either you do the onside kick or you squib it. They did something in between, right? And
we could have run the clock out and kicked the field goal, and it might have had the same result because we would have taken time off the clock.
And you know who got that? Dontrell Hilliard was the guy who actually got that, that squib kick at the end. So they got it to a guy with good hands as a running back, right? That was a bad move, right? Because why would you not just blast it into the end zone and because here's the situation. You blast it to the end zone, you put the Browns on the 25-yard line, and you say, go ahead and run it 3 times and eat up, 45 seconds?
Right.
And then you're going to have to punt it back to us, and they've been returning kicks on us. I would have punted. I would have blasted at the end zone and say, go Browns. We have all the momentum going forward. They gave it to us in the 50-yard line.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, but obviously when they put it down on the ground, they've had some success with doing that helicopter type of kick.
Yeah, I guess.
And, it's not easy to, when the thing is bouncing, it's not like a baseball coming at you, and you can time the hop and whatnot. Footballs are just not made that way. I mean, they take weird hops, bounces, and for us to recover the 2-pointer in the end zone, thing I didn't understand about that was 2 things had to happen. It had to not only be blocked, but it had to go beyond the line of scrimmage,
right,
and to be touched by the other team. And even if we recovered it at that point, it would have been over.
Yeah, it had to be in the end zone.
You had to recover it in the end zone. You can't advance it.
That's why it took like 5 minutes for them to I think they actually had to probably even call New York to be like, is this?
Yeah, let's get this right. Yeah,
they had to get correct it right or not?
And it was all on the heels of the offside anyway. So I mean,
right.
When I saw the offside flag, I said, that guy had to be offside. He was 2 steps in the backfield before they snapped the ball. So I mean, that at least we didn't get screwed on that call. We would have had a 10-point lead instead of an 11-point lead.
Yeah.
So it took the touchdown. It would have been touchdown, extra point, or 2 extra, the 2-point conversion and a field goal. And even the Browns are not that bad that they were going to give that up. So that worked out to our advantage. So it's a great win. Nice to sit on this now. Watch the afternoon games, tonight's game, tomorrow's game. We're going back.
Let's do another giveaway. Hold on, before we do it, let's do another giveaway. We got the Sabo apparel.
Okay.
Right? Let's do it. All right, Sabo apparel, guys. 1 to 100, go.
We got 115 people watching in the chat. So
not bad, not bad.
Put your number in.
I have not put. I'm gonna put in my number.
You got to play to win.
Okay, I got my number in. I'm gonna be right back. I have to use the bathroom. I've drank like 3 of these, so I'll be right back. Dad, you've got the calm for the moment. BRB.
Well, I've been a Browns fan since the mid '50s. Jim Brown, my dad was a big Browns fan. I never really understood why until really after he passed. But his first name was Otto, so I sort of figured it out at the end that coming up as a kid and a young adult, he saw Otto Graham and his great career with the Browns and winning championships and whatnot. And there's not many kids back in the day, especially when we have 2 world wars against the Germans, which that's half of my heritage is German, that, having a name Otto, he could identify with them. And I think that's why he rooted for the Browns. And still remember we lived in northern Jersey. The Browns and the Giants were arch rivals, and Sam Huff against Jimmy Brown. And yet we had to sit there and listen to the radio and listen to the hometown. Al G. Regardis, I think, was the announcer, the famous announcer for the Giants, and he would sing Sam Huff's praises, even though Jimmy Brown ran for 7 yards. My days go all the way back to the mid '50s when I was 8 or 9 years old, and been through everything with the Browns, up and down. Was so thrilled when Bernie Kosar took the helm and was hoping that he would be a good quarterback, and was. It was great to watch him. You knew when he got back and he released it with a 3-step drop or a 5-step drop, you knew it was going to be close. It wasn't, he couldn't scramble very much, but he was very accurate. And I think he had for the longest time the record for passes without an interception.
You're right.
Maybe somebody's passed him at this point.
Tom Brady was the one who broke that.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's respectable to have Brady beat you, but considering what the Browns had, and it was great those talented years that he was there and when he took over. Just that we had to suffer through the move where we lost our team, but we didn't lose our colors and our heritage.
Yeah, thank God.
And it was great that we got back and we got a new stadium, and things are on the right track.
Well, it looks like the number was 46, and we had a View of Uranus had 44, and I think View might win it with a 44. I think that's pretty close.
42.
42 is close. We didn't have a 48 or 47. So, winner.
Uranus 40. Yeah, 44 looks like the winner.
Is View. View of winner of Uranus. You win. Send me an email. Also, remind me what you won, because we did quite a few giveaways today. Yeah, that was awesome. So, congratulations to View of Uranus. Welcome to the show. Oh, we got some other guys. Junior Chart's back. What's going on, Junior? Hope you get your shirt soon. I think Junior won the last one. Yeah, so in terms of, I just want to get an update. I want to check out the update of the Colts game. Looking at the scores today, Colts currently are winning 10-3, really close to halftime. They have it. They have it at the Chicago 12, so they're actually threatening here to go up even higher. Should be surprising. The Colts are like one of the Colts might be the new Titans. Like a team that just doesn't lose.
Quarterback. The Bills and the Raiders are pretty close. 17-13 Bills at halftime. And the Giants are hanging in there. They're only losing 10-6 to the Rams in the third quarter. So I would have thought the Rams would have kicked their butt.
It's crazy. We put up 49 points, guys. We would have put in terms of if that was a fantasy football score, we would have beat every team in the NFL easily. We put up the most. I mean, that's another thing. When was the last time we put up the most amount of points in a week of the NFL? Right? How nuts is that?
Right. I had my friend in Florida. He's a big Yankee fan like me, and we go back and forth. And he was texting me before the game, and he had to make some picks in his fantasy league, and he said, "Should I take OBJ?" And I said, "Yeah, why not? I mean, go for it. He's due." I saw that they were picking him on the TV as far as fantasy points, that he was going to have a breakout game. I told him that the Dallas secondary was terrible, and so that if this is a game that he should light it up if he's capable of doing it. And with each touchdown, I tweeted him saying, number 1, number 2, number 3. And he had 2 fantasy leagues, and he picked him in one, and he didn't take him in the other. So he did okay, obviously, in the one with the 3 touchdowns. So, and a lot of yardage. He had a lot of yards, I think. So.
I was seeing there's an article on ESPN right now saying that the Dallas Cowboys get dragged on social media during the game with the Cleveland Browns. You got the Iron Sheik, the old WWF wrestler. The Iron Sheik is trolling the Cowboys. Charlemagne the God is in there. You've got Censor is in there. The COD player. I'll win COD chance for the Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl.
Max Nikolenko says we have the biggest score for the whole season. Nobody's beat 49 points.
That actually does surprise me, but that's amazing. Good stat, Max. Yeah. LeBron James, OBJ, bro, let's go Browns. OBJ, who is a Dallas Cowboy fan, right? Like LeBron James is a Dallas Cowboy fan, right? I'm surprised he's not getting.
Did you know that Myles Garrett was from Arlington?
Yeah,
right near the stadium.
The reason why I knew that, he played at Texas A&M, but also on top of that, all those hype videos that I did where there was a video that I did last year. If you guys want to go back and look at it, was the country song one that I did with the Blake Shelton song,
right?
God's Country. Okay, so you guys go back and look at the God's Country hype video. I had to go back and look at. I was trying to pick videos and highlights from when the Browns players were in high school, and so when they showed that one with Myles Garrett where he was going like this, and they had the other regular looking kids that were in front of him, I remember those pictures because there's some videos out there, and he was a monster. Mm-hmm. I mean, he must have been 6'6", maybe 250 in high school, which is insane in terms of size.
Right.
So, I mean, Myles Garrett was like Jake. So Jake, the guy that I was talking to, and Jake's a big guy. Jake is not a small
right. He looks like
being.
A big guy.
He's a big human being. But he's thinner now, right? When he was his playing weight, he was much bigger. But now he's kind of just thinned down to normal human size. And there's genetically Myles Garrett and these guys that play Division I or play in the pros. Like that guy did the defensive player for the Cowboys, that guy Thomas. Holy crap, dude. That guy is a monster. Just a monster human being. Trey Young says Baker always turning up in the stadium. Trey Young's getting in on the action. Stephen A. Smith is trolling the Cowboys. I mean, this was like I said, this was going to be a game that was going to be on the national stage today, right? Yeah, this wasn't a game that, a typical Browns-Bengals game.
Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys play the Giants at home next week. So if they can't, if they can't get motivated for that to get themselves back in the hunt with their own division, and they should light up the Giants.
Mike McCarthy might be in trouble. If you
it's hard when I'm sure they gave him a 5-year contract or whatever. I don't think Jerry Jones would cut him loose.
Yeah,
he can't play. He can't play defense. He can't. You need at least a couple of years to build up some talent. And I don't know.
They have had some injuries
out there in the way of free agency. So
they have had some injuries. As Jake brought up in the pregame show. So yeah, I mean, there is some excuse there, but my gosh, I mean, to give up 49 points to the Browns.
Right. And it could have been worse. It could have been worse. So
Yeah, the Browns scored in every quarter. 7, 24, 10, 8. Right? That 8
yeah,
points.
they weren't trying really in the fourth quarter. All they were trying to do was run the clock.
But I mean, think about that. The ballsy call, right? To run a reverse to Odell Beckham, and then Odell going, "I got this, guys. I'm gonna go and I'm not gonna just go and run it down there and put it in, because we were only up 3 points. So if Odell brings us in, in field goal range, if he gets stopped at like the 20, right, and goes out of bounds, now we got to run some more plays to get the clock moving again, and then we score let's say we kick a field goal because Parkey's doing well, and now we're only up 6 points. We got to give him the ball back with what, like a minute 20, right?
Yeah,
so Odell's like, I'm scoring a touchdown. Screw this.
Yeah, I mean, you give him the ball as long. I was afraid when he was running, before he got in front of those guys, that somebody was going to hit him and jar the ball loose, because he doesn't always hold it as securely as a Chubb or a Hunt. But he cleared those guys and they couldn't catch him, and he cruised into the end zone. So that was, and I was afraid he was going to get an unsportsmanlike. I don't know what he was doing in the end zone, but he was making all kinds of
kicking the
gyration.
ball and stuff. Odell Beckham today, 154 all-purpose yards, 73 rushing yards, 73 off 2 attempts. I don't remember what his other attempt was, but 2 attempts rushing, and then 5 receptions for 81 yards. 3 touchdowns today, including a touchdown reception from his best friend in life and ex-college teammate Jarvis Landry. Jarvis throws a 37-yard bomb.
Yeah, he heaved it. He really heaved it too.
I mean, on the money though.
Yeah.
I mean, a little tiny bit. I mean, he did stop for a second, but I mean, on the money. And when we scored that touchdown, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a good game. This is gonna be fun to watch." And then Dallas comes right back and scores.
Right back. I mean, it was quick.
Yeah, and then they go up 14-7. Yeah. They end up going up, and then the Browns had that huge second quarter where they scored 24 points off of the strip.
2 turnovers,
not only the turnovers, right? The strip and then the fumble, which, I mean, Sione Takitaki, the biggest play Sione's had all year was just having his helmet
underneath
on the butt of Ezekiel Elliott. So he doesn't go down, right? That was Sione Takitaki's biggest play. See, I have a feeling at some point this season, Sione's going to have a play that we go, all right, this guy's, he's finally done. How many interceptions has gone right through his hands? Right?
Yeah, right. Ooh.
So many plays. So he finally had a big play. It's going to be really, I'd love to be in the meeting room when they replay that, because they're going to replay it over and over, and it's going to be Sione Takitaki like this with Ezekiel Elliott's butt landing on him, and then Sendejo knocking the ball out, right, which then turned into 14 points.
Right.
I cannot remember, and I tweeted this last week. This us scoring points off of turnovers is a new feeling for me. Right. I mean, it's just it's a strange thing. But today, we held on. We won. We made it a game. We actually, that Odell Beckham play is going to go down as beyond the catch, right? The Odell Beckham catch, right? Beyond that catch, this might have been the second best play in his career. Hands down. And this might actually be, if you take away that Monday Night Football game where he had the Odell Beckham catch from Eli Manning, this might be the best game Odell Beckham has ever played as a professional football player.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns.
A key play at a crucial point in the game. It wasn't just like, the Jets game where he had that, little slant over the middle and he went like 75 yards. Yeah. That was sort of at the beginning of the game. This is when the game was on the line. And if he makes it, we do great. If he doesn't, we're in a hole. And he's got some speed with him. I mean, he got around that corner. Whoever sealed off the edge did a really good job. and he made some moves down the sidelines before he made it clear.
Yeah.
They had 3 guys out in front of him, and they couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
They got blocked, and he went right by him. So he deserved it. He earned it. He came through, and he gets to enjoy it for another week. That's for sure. And I think the other teams now have to respect him even more because he's performing.
Yes.
It's
a really good point.
Superstar. Yeah. If you don't perform, they sort of put you on the back burner, and they don't put your best defensive player on him. You don't give him the double coverage.
Correct.
You don't pay attention to him that much because he's not doing anything. But now that he's stepped up, they gotta prepare for him. They gotta watch him.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. If you've got a guy like Nick Chubb who goes down, if he has to go down for a couple of weeks, God forbid, right? Mm-hmm. And who knows, right? I think at this point, I don't want to rush Nick back in like on the field. Okay, no. Especially with his history of knee injuries, that has been the whole thing all along. That's the kryptonite. Is he can his knees hold up in the pros, and that's why he slipped to the second round in the draft, because they were sitting there going like, I don't know, knee surgeries, they don't like that in the pros. Okay, and now that we've got Kareem Hunt and D'Ernest Johnson's coming out party today, along with Odell. I mean, I want to say it again, guys. The flight back to Cleveland, I'd give up my 401k right now to be on that flight back to Cleveland with Baker having a game, no mistake, honestly, a mistake-free game for all intents and purposes, right? He played smart, and they even mentioned it. Moose Johnston, Daryl Johnston, whatever, Moose, whatever his name is. But he even said, he's like, Baker's playing smart. I mean, he's not only throwing the ball out of bounds, but he's winging it out of bounds. Right? With the
a lot of guys in the chat are down on Sendejo in terms of how he played. I didn't pay that much attention. Did he blow a couple of plays?
Quite a few of the touchdowns you could probably pin on him. Really? But he forced the fumble on Ezekiel Elliott, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I was texting with Ristano, and I'm like, this Sendejo guy is this the best we got? And I think he's a liability at this point, right? He's one of the guys that they brought from Minnesota, and you know what? Maybe he just had an off game, right? But it's now 2 weeks in a row. He's kind of had an off game. He's like one of those guys who can have a big play and also have like one big play. One game-changing big play versus then giving up several bad plays, right?
Is he filling in for somebody that
no, he's our starting free safety. Yeah, so I mean, at this point, it's not great. Our safeties, ever since Peppers left, has been kind of like, I don't know what happens, and I think that's going to be what we have to address next year in free agency in the draft is defense. We have the There's not a single hole in offense. Even getting Harrison Bryant, that guy can play. So we got Bryant, we got Hooper, we might get Njoku back at some point. He's the forgotten guy.
We had no Higgins today.
Higgins hasn't played at all. Yeah. So Higgins is getting paid to sit there and watch, right? Mm-hmm. So Higgins is out. We got Peoples-Jones playing now. Fine, I'm okay with that. Let's see what he's got. But you got some players out. We have offense for days, right? We need to shore up that defense, and what it appears to me is that Joe Woods is learning how to be a defense coordinator on the fly. He's learning. This is his first year as a defense coordinator, and if you look back at the Browns right now, we've given up 38 points, 30 points, 20 points, and 38 points. Guys, that's a lot of points to give up. Yes, we're 3-1, but we are a scary 3-1 team. This kind of reminds me of the old Chiefs, like Alex Smith era Chiefs, when they were like, $1 billion and one. They were a great team, but at any point they're like, God, we just know they didn't have any confidence. We just know they're gonna lose, and that's why they drafted Mahomes, to sit there and do that. This is what the Browns like. You can't get into the playoffs and give up 30 points, right? The Baltimore Ravens are going to beat you up in the playoffs. Tennessee, I think our next test that's on our schedule, the next true test, is going to be when we play the Titans December 6th. Because we had the Colts, whatever, Steelers, Bengals, Raiders, Texans, Eagles, Jags. Then we got Tennessee. We're gonna lose some of these games. We're not gonna run the table, right? Right. I mean, not based off of the performance today. We're not gonna, because we can't put up 50 points a game. Right. We can't do it. The Colts aren't gonna give up 50 points. The Steelers aren't gonna give up 50 points. Right? Indianapolis right now is winning 13-3 at halftime. So they got that. But all right, guys, it's we've been at it for quite a bit here. How long have we been at
96 minutes.
96 minutes, guys. I appreciate everybody here. Bunch of giveaway winners. Everybody who won those giveaways, shoot me that email. Guys, make sure that you're subscribed. Everybody who's in chat right now, if you haven't hit like, go ahead and hit like again. Big thanks to Tim Ollie Realty, to Schlegel Law Firm, Jonathan Schlegel out of Columbus, Sabo Apparel, thank you. Homage, thank you. Got a whole bunch of cool stuff. I appreciate every one of you. I love you guys, Browns fans. Thank you guys for being here with us. Appreciate it. You make it a lot of fun. Dad.
We'll see you in Orlando next week. Mike and I will be together in the same screen, same room.
Yep.
And we'll be sitting there in the big screen watching the game next week and hoping that we go 4 in a row. So go Browns.
Go Browns. And we will see you guys next week. Peace.